And in Kapiri, we have ZFM on 100.3 FM, covering the many surrounding areas around Kapiri, including Serenje, as well as Mpika, including Mukushi as well. Don't forget, we are also live in Ndola and covering many towns around the Copper Belt on Platinum Radio. That is on 99.7. Also live on iWave FM radio in Chungola, covering the rest of the Copper Belt on 90.1 FM. And that's 5 FM radio Zambia. Now, later on in the course of the program, I'll give you, our listeners, an opportunity to call in and interact with our guest. Let me take this opportunity, therefore, to introduce our guest. She comes with so many accolades, but I'll mention a few. I know that she is also former ambassador, and she is former Deputy Secretary General of the Patriotic Front. She was a member of Parliament for Munali. She is a renowned politician, and I'm sure you need no introduction, but I will go ahead and say, Madam Mumbi Phiri. Always a pleasure to have you. Welcome to this particular.
Thank you so much, and good morning to the listeners. And I would like to wish them and your radio station a happy new year. This is the first time I've come to this station this year. Yes.
And it's Happy Women's Month, by the way. And as a result, I'll take this opportunity. First of all, I will wish you and many other women Happy Women's Month. But coincidentally, let me start off my question by the fact that I'm considering this month as a Women's Month. Also, President Hakainde Hichilema just yesterday swore in two females, and this is Delphine Pauline Soko Chabu as the new Anti-Corruption Commission Director General, and also swore in Mrs. Mbololwa Wamunyima as Human Rights Commission Director General. More females being added to decision-making positions and to good governance, of course. This truly must be making you as a woman, and a woman politician for that matter, very proud. The fact that these are just additions to many. The first female speaker of the National Assembly. We have a female chairperson at the ECZ. You can name them.
For me, it's a sad, it's not a happy, but it's a sad Women's Month. And why do I say so? You should have listened to when the president was swearing in those two women. My question, which was going through my head, is, are these women being appointed on merit? They have a relationship, or they knew the president, as he explained when he was swearing in one of those women, to say, I know you from a long time, I've worked with you. As that woman got the caliber to deliver to our expectations? Already, why I'm saying it's very sad, the women we have in these high positions of high decision-making positions, to me, big disappointment. Before the UPND came into power, I had hope, and a lot of women were seeing that finally, as Zambia, we have women. We had Vena Catherine Amgala as Deputy Speaker Assembly. We had Irene Mambirima as the High Court, what do they call them?
Chief Justice.
The Chief Justice. Yeah. We had the likes of Balombechiwe Sakunda. We had people like Florence Mumba, the former judge, the late Christine Phiri, you name them. Those were women who stood firm. Do you know, like, what is happening now in the judiciary? When retired judges are invited, if you noticed, when Maundu, that broadcast was done live, when he was retiring, did you notice that the only retired judge who went to that function was Judge Ngulube? All the others shunned because to see what is happening in our country. Look at cases like Madam Speaker. The other day, before the Minister of Finance went to present, he was told to give a ministerial statement on the statistics, where we saw Babeani arguing publicly with directors from Zamstat. I even said before he presented that report, I said, unfortunately, we have a speaker now who answers on behalf of the ministers. That office, I've been in that parliament, not just as an elected member of parliament. Remember, I was also nominated, and I think I understand how that house runs. The speaker is let down with the decisions she has made. On the other hand, we just heard when an MP, Binwa Mpundu, went and talked about those MPs who endorsed Hakainde Hichilema in Eastern Province. What answer did she give us? She said she has no jurisdiction because it's the court which has to decide. How then did she declare the seat for Chilangwa vacant when that issue is still in court? Up to today, it's in court. How did they receive those two members of parliament from the Copper Belt, where Lusambo was and where Malanji is? Because the court allowed that those people should stand as members of parliament. Nothing stops them. Who is the head of the Electoral Commission? You have seen what is happening at the Electoral Commission of Zambia. I'm proud as a woman, I'll tell you I'm not. Look at the Constitutional Court. It's a woman who is heading that institution. What have we seen? A case to President Edgar Lungu, which is seen as very political going back because the Constitutional Court is the highest court and the case can't go back there on the fifth time and you overturn it. Even me, who is just a housewife, qualifications grade 12, qualifications preschool teacher, air hostess, I can see that that was a blunder. Let us look at the Human Rights Commission. I was incarcerated just recently in Kawambwa for 18 days. You heard that Dr. Is it Pamela who can't even pronounce repertoire? I don't know where she got that doctorate from. Is it an honorary or what? Because even me, who is a preschool teacher, I can pronounce repertoire the way it's supposed to be. She lied that. You can imagine a mother lying that there were some human rights officers who came from Mumansa to come and see me. And she said there were no human rights violations which are done on me. Is she telling me she sleeps in a garage? If it at her home, she sleeps in a garage. Or if at my home, I decide to sleep in a cage, that's my choice. Kawamba Police Station is a government institution. 10 days I didn't bath. She's a woman. She knows women issues and everything. Is that normal to her? She could open her mouth and defend to me which is wrong, as if that's not enough. My mother, my mom's sister, Judge Rombechwe Sakunda, she was the first person to be appointed as human rights commissioner here in Zambia with the likes of the late Foston Sakala. I was young then. I saw even the setting up the Mansa offices, Kasama, in all the provincial capitals. It's her who did it because that time I was living with her. I saw it. When I was in that condition in Kawambwa, she tried to reach out to that Pamela woman. She declined to even talk to the person who is in that office. And then she comes and embarrasses herself. Doesn't she know that going to a toilet is a right? Doesn't she live in Zambia? Didn't she see at one time people didn't understand that toilet is a right? When Honorable Sylvia Masebo went to open the toilet day, everybody was laughing. It was happening for the first time. That's a human right declaration by the United Nations, which she falls under. And she can come and defend as if she's a cadre. It says it's so sad, you know, we reached a point where we were looking at having a woman as a president. Now we have dropped, going back down 20 years down the lane because people are looking at women that they only look at their stomachs or where the bread is buttered. And I hope we have two women who have also been appointed. They were being ratified in Parliament just last week. One of them is Naruchaziba, who is a Catholic like me, and we belong to the same lay group, which is called St. Anne. Our motto in St. Anne is to be above board. We say, ufunika kunkala wochuka. When you are waking, you should be on top of things. I'm yet to see if she live by a motto of St. Anne, whom she believes in, we have another woman in Gwase Mwale. She's also, I believe, a Catholic Women's League. We are yet to see what these two women will do at the Anti-Corruption Commission. But for the other women, to me, it's 0 out of 0. They are a very big disappointment. And I feel so ashamed because these are not women with low caliber of education. They have doctorates. We have state councils. They are the ones who are behaving as if they are begging for their jobs. They don't realize that they qualify for what they are doing. It's very sad.
I hear you. To the contrary, you would also want to appreciate the fact that we are getting closer to achieving at least 50% women inclusion in governance. I mean, despite what you have alluded to, on the other hand, it's a positive approach, I think.
Is it a positive approach to you when we are getting quantity, not quality? To me, if you are not getting quality, those women who can stand up like Irene Mambidima, Bena Florence Mumba, it's nothing. It's as good as 0. Because outside, we are being laughed at. Look at the women outside. We have now the Namibian president, a woman. We have Tanzanian president. Look at how they are performing. Those are the women you should look up to and say we have women. Not women who are subtracting what you have already achieved, bringing you to 0 because they don't have a mind of their own. They can't defend even the education they had. To me, that's 0. It's not adding up to anything. It's just adding to us getting embarrassed.
Let me take you now to the fact that, you know, the head of state recently addressed the nation through parliament and, of course, spoke strongly on the moral standing of our country and how we should, uphold morals as a nation. But generally, do you feel that we are getting somewhere? Because, I mean, these addresses by heads of states, year in, year out, government in or different governments, it's become routine. I don't know whether we are getting somewhere in as far as moral standing as a country is concerned.
We have again really gone down. Let's start with the president himself. How do you have a president who is talking about his buttocks in public? Now, when he's walking, I'm sure my grandchildren would want to look at his buttocks and see how they look. Do you know that a buttocks of an old man and a young boy, they are very different? Your structure differs. And I don't know how my grandchildren will look at their father's buttocks because he's talking about them in public. Is that normal? We have the likes of Bena Cornelius Muitwa. You heard him on a press conference sounding so bitter. Cornelius Muitwa is very well known. Look at how he looked down. He spoke about Mama Inoke Wina on the floor of the House in Parliament. That woman is fit to be Cornelius Muitwa's grandmother. He has no respect at all. Now, Mbachamutwala Kuliba bishop, can you talk to a bishop like that? You promised them that you are going to do the Chipata Lundazi Road. You promised them that you are going to finish the Chipata Vubwi Road. You went there, you promised that you are going to finish the Chipata Chadiza Road. Have you done them? When you are reminded, then you want to say you are going to go personal with the auxiliary Bishop Msipu, Gabriel Msipu. Bishop Gabriel Msipu, his family, left his mother and father, left his sisters and brothers to come and become our father. And don't think if you are thinking you attack him personally. We are his family. He represents us. And it's so sad. We have members of parliament who are Catholics. They are quiet. representing their stomachs. We even have some, like the Member of Parliament, Kalabo. Not Kalabo, Kalomo. He was on radio, he's a Catholic, even agreeing with what was being said about his priests and bishops. When we go to church, we pray, each diocese, we pray for our bishops. If you don't believe in them, why do you go there and say that prayer? As if that's not enough. Why did the UPND government at one time, was it 2 months, 3 months ago, they came out and said they had reconciled with the bishop. They particularly talked about Bishop Patriotic Banda. As Catholics, even you're a Catholic, I know. You know that we are aware that they wanted to use our nuncio, the ambassador representative for Zambia and Malawi, to corner Bishop Patriotic Banda to go to State House. But he refused. And in the end, they got embarrassed because that reconciliation, they wanted to pass through the nuncio to make Bishop Banda parade himself at State House. He bluntly told them, me, I've forgiven them. If they want, they can come. What's so special about you that they should be following you? Cornelius Muito, if you have issues with the bishops, why don't you follow him? Like what I did. When our bishop, Trace Fompundo, was supporting you, he personally attacked me and Honorable Kampiongo. Did you hear me respond to him? I followed him. Even when I was invited on a radio station, I remember that time I was invited on Yasani. The way I talk, they expected me to respond according to what Trace Fompundo said to me. I just said, that's my father. I can't ask him. I can't caution what he has said. And everybody was shocked. Up to today, my fellow Catholics give me respect because we know that you cannot attack an anointed man. Cornelius Muito, I feel sorry for him. Let him ask what happened to him and after he insulted the bishops. What happened to him, you didn't say? Because everybody's praying their head. Don't get surprised if anything hits you. You don't fight with a man of God. All about Dorini Mwamba. Batamba, you're Catholics, you're quiet. Which sides do you belong? Is it on politics, which is temporal and the offices we are holding? Or you stand for Christ, who is everlasting, he died for you on the cross. You let that small boy, Cornelius Muito, insulting your man, your mentor, your man of God whom you believe in. Are you still Catholics? We are waiting to hear from you. It's so sad. When the president can go and talk about morals, you have your own ministers who can insult the bishops like Cornelius Muito. That's insulting them. You have your ministers like Mike Mposha who can lie public, get a woman, an innocent woman, arrested, kept in the prison, in the cells for 18 days, inhuman shown on her, only to be saved by your DPP. You keep them. Where do you belong? Do you have morals, Mr. President? Are you part of the lies of Mposha? So it's not making sense because the president talks about something else. Is people talking about something else? What's moral in the vice president telling women and girls to go and get pregnant across the board? Even those who have no husbands, they can go and get pregnant so that they start getting paid. Are those morals? And you can even open your mouth? It's because it's enshrined in the Constitution. He had no choice but to go there and address the nation. But morals, starting with him, he has none. If he can talk about his battacles in public.
This is the third edition of the burning issue on the Happy World of 5FM Radio and many other platforms where we are live on. And quickly, I'll go through them. Tuta FM, thank you very much in Mansa. Muchinga Radio in Chinsali. Of course, ZFM in Kapiri. Also, Spice FM in Kabwe. Platinum Radio in Indola. And iWave FM in Chingola. My guest, once again, is Madam Mumbi Phiri. And she is a renowned politician. She's former ambassador and former deputy secretary general of the Patriotic Front. Now let's get into.
And I'm still the Deputy Secretary General of UCA.
Oh, you're
That
still,
position I haven't relinquished, and I haven't been fired, yes, by Samoei. I'm still there.
Right. Interesting. Now, you have been singing loud about Plan B, you know, and you have been talking about it. Tell us really what Plan B is, and why are you so loud about it? Do you think it's a workable plan, and what is it anyway? If you know it, I know you've all the members have been kept quiet on this. I've really tried to ask, even in confidence. None is willing to share what that Plan B is.
Plan B is silent. And if you remember very well, I started talking about Plan B before anybody else, even before President Lungu talked about it himself. And when he talked about it, I was shocked. Plan B. Then I asked, I've been talking about this Plan B. Why haven't you attacked me? Plan B, I can confirm it's there. And as I say, Plan B Nimbama, it's not a match to President HH. And at the right time, this Plan B will be known to everybody else. And me, I'm so confident because we have an example. People are hungry, they are angry, they are frustrated. I'm definitely sure we have an example of what happened in Senegal. Are you aware? The mother is Bemba from Kitwe Kobareikala. How long did he campaign? 2 weeks. When people have reached their maximum, you can't change them. That Plan B, Nangwakabe announced, he will win or she will win. So it's there. And the light.
So it's definitely not easy. Yeah.
No, it doesn't matter. Forget what is being said. We want people to speculate. Huh? President Edgar Lungu said he has evoked when that Concord ruling was done. I don't know, even you journalists and a lot of people, if you don't understand English. Dr. ECO said, I have accepted the verdict of the Concord, isn't it? Now I'm evoking Plan B. So that Plan B is in motion. And it will work. And I feel sorry for UPND because the only agenda they have is PF. Now, what if PF, I don't know if Chavinga and Mao Sampa, they will be in the ballot. Now we have heard Chavinga has joined UPND. So which means PF will not be there. It will not be there. They have taken PF with them. What are they going to talk about?
Clearly,
what are they going to talk about?
They may not talk about anything.
PF is with them.
But they definitely look very ready for anything. I mean, they 2 days ago, I mean, they just constituted a ministerial media team. They also have made changes at party level in as far as media is concerned. All these, and also I think they have also appointed another deputy spokesperson. Well, the position has been vacant for a while, but all that is happening around UPND and the constituted ministerial media team. It's clear they are here to counter the propaganda that ECL and his people
have you seen,
are
like,
known for.
The way I'm talking, is there any propaganda in what I've said? They call the truth as propaganda. From what we are interacting, what I've said, is there any propaganda in saying what I've said? I'm only saying the truth. They can constitute whatever they can constitute. If they are constituting those teams they are constituting to continue telling lies, it will work very well for us who have the Plan B. And I will encourage them. Congratulations, my son, Maximue, for the new position from consultant to media director. And you should continue the way you speak with confidence, using lies. It works to our advantage. And I was listening yesterday to Cornelius Muitwa. He was saying, we are going to gag lies. Which lies are you going to gag? Are you sure you're going to manage to stop Donald Trump speaking the way he's speaking? Are you proud, even you, Bazak, as a journalist, the superpower president taking out the words Donald Trump said about Zambia? Where are we? Are you proud that you can have a political party fighting a superpower like Russia? Because because Donald Trump has been very clear, and he said, but those who didn't support me, African countries or countries which didn't support me, they shouldn't expect any support from me. And Zambia, we are on record when Kamala Harris came to Zambia. A question was asked to Kamala, but because our president thinks he's a good speaker, he jumped on a bandwagon to answer that question, which was not possible. Is Donald Trump happy with what our president said? The guess is as much yours as it is mine. And I was hoping that since nafirungula ku America, maybe we could move the other side, G7. What did we see? Bayu PND, bambo kuchita ukubika nakane Putin mufyabu puba. How do you get a superpower? Mwambo kuchita accuse Putin. Atare bombana balungu tamwishi benoko bari. They had a meeting. Sebare twala arms through Uganda. Hey, secure our borders. Are you okay? We are troubled with electricity. We have no electricity. Russia had to pay a nuclear plant. Kurianchikala kuchongwe. Kuna mafia ya farm for free. Instead of engaging them so that we have some more extra sources of energy. In their nuclear plant, when it started, you remember when Musiska was moved from secretary to the cabinet, he was a director there. Children were sent to study. When that plant finishes, they were supposed to come and start where? Instead of you concentrating to finish that nuclear plant, mwambo kulabula superpower, mleibika mufia bupuba. If she repanga sense, does that make sense even to you? Where are we going to go as Zambia? Rungula kusadiki, we can see. Our president even failed to go for Namibian president's funeral. Somebody who lived with us, we helped him to liberate his country to get independence. Doreen Mwamba can tell them, me and her, we were the presidential air hostesses, we were four. We could take some Mujoma Benambeki during the liberation struggle, such that when some Mujoma got the independence, Doreen Mwamba and I, we were offered to go and work in Namibia as their presidential hostess. We declined because we were both married. Sam Mujoma took his personal pilot up to that Zambian he died, Captain Kenny Mukuka. He was the presidential pilot for Sam Mujoma until his death. We had pilots like Newton in Bazima. We had engineers like Francis Pwapwa, whom Sam Mujoma personally took from Zambia because of their good flying skill, good engineering skill. Oko mwakana, a baby which you groomed yourself mwakana okuya mukumulosha andama kadas varepunda who don't even know. Hey, was that important ukuya mukuchita in store Bambadamu Scott as headman kubwengwa? Was that so important? And that woman has no shame. She doesn't know that she has degraded herself. She's not seeing the human rights abuse which are going on. I don't know. And I'm so sad.
You spoke about
you spoke America. No, but even G7, how are we going to go there?
And the bigger question I have for you is that I don't think Zambians are at the level of where you will from nowhere show up and say, here is plan B, vote for it. I think reached the stage where they have to buy into what are you going do for them?
We
Because
have
now it's about what alternatives, what is it that you do right for the people? So I don't know what your strategy is, but you surely need time to convince people of Zambia that they can actually buy into what you're offering.
I'm telling you, we have packaged it so well. That package is known. It's attractive. And 3 months, you know that even 1 week in politics is a long time. Even 1 day, people can change. When we present this plan B, everybody will be dancing. And already, I know that people are saying whatever will be given, as long as it's not UPND, will go for it. That's the thing. Me, I'm very confident. Look at me. Look at the confidence on my face.
And you think Zambians would take such a risk?
I interact with Zambians. I move with. Do you know? It's just that these people. Do you know that they follow me now? I think why I'm a big. I don't know if I'm really a big threat. From here, I'm going where I'm going to celebrate Women's Day with the women in the rural areas. They are tired. Alensala Pondo.
You spoke about electricity as one of the, the issues that may affect the UPND in terms of
it has already
them winning an election. But let's talk about that, because the government has assured us by June, definitely we're going to have a stable supply of electricity. And so most likely going forward. And so would that be on your agenda of campaign? What will you do once load shedding is gone?
You know, by UPND, they have come at a critical time when a lot of people are educated. In villages, people in the villages, they are very knowledgeable and they're educated. I was shocked to hear a caller on one of the radio stations telling exactly what is happening. Do you know what is going to happen? This UPND, they have been selling Amalite. Just about 2 weeks ago or so, I went on holiday and I made a stopover in South Africa. Do you know that load shedding started in South Africa? We were selling electricity to South Africa. That's why you have even seen improvement in some areas with electricity here. By May, June, all the contracts which they signed, they are coming to an end. You know what is going to happen? What they planned was just one day the president will come out and just come and say with his language, Icona man, Zambia Malite. Icona man, Zesco, it's too much. It can't go on. I'm giving you 48 hours. You have to give Zambians electricity. Mukapape, Pantuamala kwati, bonseta tutontonkanya. We don't know. You know, we are living in a global village. There's nothing you can hide. As they were lying to say, basa ingira PF weba saine contract ya malai tukia kuna Namibia. Leso mwabeba muleta the secretary to the cabinet wa kuna Namibia. Kwisa bebe rapaba mwana rumango bafira no kwika rapachipura no bala tenant na she looked like she wanted to run away. That contract, that person told us that it was not signed in 2020. It was signed on 1st April 2022. Was PF in power then? No, Baba Chinja. No, it's only Katema Miriro kuboda. Why should we give kuboda Katema Miriro when my children in Karingaringa Mutendere Mandevu are suffering? Does that make sense? Economic sense? Abo small businesses. They're young people like you, Zach. Eko Baba Taylor, they are the ones who are doing welding. Eko Aba Pango tuma ice blocks, tuma internet cafe, utuma saloon, utuma barber shop. They are young people. There are very few big people like me who ingachita do murituratu business. They are the ones who are choking. Their businesses have collapsed. On top of that, their businesses have collapsed. Tabako atempie shakuri pirama renti, ero ba mobana rumango ba iminati, imitofore. Tekula tumabana kubuchende. Nomba, naba lumendo na imwena muimatinga ifofwe bale imisha afumo. You also want allowance. That's what is going around in the compounds. I got it that now when abana bena barechita demanding ala kupera efumo sisi vale mipera 600 kumpako 300 nawo washaya 300 can 300 kwacha or 600 kwacha nangu vakupera up to umwana afika 5 years. Can it raise a child? What type of people are they? So that's what's going to happen. Iyo ine June bare miemba mkomfua ba president wake sechita pronounce, I'm giving you 48 hours. Pakuti bazesko bamone kateba tanabantu, ba president loves the people. When in the actual sense, it's his government which has been selling Amalite to South Africa, Namibia, Botswana, and partly Tanzania. Interconnect ayo bashire ba PF ili adingiro kupita ku Tanzania. Why have they failed to finish it? If they really love the people of Zambia, then don't connect. Was it at 80%? Do you hear them talk about it? Nizi, ni mailo lungu, tuwe plan B, Luvinda, Nakachinda, Mumbi Phiri, Selo. Is that why they were voted for? Really? So me, I'm very confident. Plan B.
People have talking about yourself. I mean, people have stopped sympathizing with your jails because they say you ask for them. You're too loud. You do things that a woman at your age is not supposed to be doing. And there are people who say you should have actually been retired by now from politics. Do you get this call for you to retire from politics, and how do you react to that?
Yes, and I get that call to retire from UPND. Zake Maya's orders Banarumango. Banarumango could even be twice more than my age. Am I as old as the President Hakainde Hichilema? I'm much younger. Am I as old as ba Sylvia Masebo? I'm not even as old as ba Doreen Mwamba. Doreen Mwamba is younger than Mama Masebo. Why should they talk about me retiring? Is what I say not of substance? Of course I do. And genuine people, now, if you hosted any program, let me talk about my own father, Bawinta Kabimba, supports the UPND. The first time I was arrested, he was talking about my being jailed because he knew that I was innocent. And when I came out, he said it's a bogus Nole. This time when I was arrested and kept for 18 months, he was on Radio Phoenix and he told the UPND off. They want me to retire because they can feel my heat. And I think I can rule better than them. If God gave me a chance, they know it and they can see that I'm only 55. President Hakainde Hichilema is 60-something. Who is younger? Why can't they tell him to retire? How old is Banarumango? Tabari kuma 70. Why can't they tell her to retire? Bamirupi ndingene nabo. Even my brother Felix Mutati ndingene nabo. Bakulu. So why should they talk about me retiring? Nikadi now. Tikadi tose. No matter. In fact, I'm encouraging them. Do you know that the more they arrest me, the more they are making the country know me? And maybe I'll be one of them, like President HH. God is also allowing them to arrest me so that I can become a president. He told us that he was being arrested. God was preparing him for the presidency. Who knows? Maybe I'm also getting arrested. God is preparing me for the presidency. So tikaritonse munji katena kambi. This time mumkantwareko kuzambezi, Ikelengi, Mwilunga, such areas. Kaidi apana munchaya Western. Mwaisantwala Luapula. Kwashala fye Muchinga, Southern, Northwestern. Na Central Province. Arrest me. I'm not scared. And as long as my God is on the throne, akula misebanya. Because in I'll prepare a table, a banquet before the enemies. Mwari monofwachitire prepare. No tamware tontonka nyatukuta Aisa Alanda, one of you, DPP. Alanda, there is no case. We can't prosecute this. These people are claiming that a teaser was used. But there isn't even a medical report. to support this. Can't you see that? That my God is real, is preparing a banquet where here I am. I'm speaking with my head high. And the people of Zambia know that I'm not an armed robber. I'm not a murderer. So keep on keeping on. Follow us who are anointed. God will expose you.
This is the Thursday edition of the Burning Issue. I'll open phone lines now for our listeners to participate. And I promise that I will give you an opportunity to call in and interact with our guest. Our guest this morning on the Burning Issue is Madam Mumbi Phiri. She is the current Deputy Secretary General for UCA. She is former Patriotic Front Secretary General, as well as a former ambassador. And the phone lines are open on 0955-221515. Let's take this first call. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you today?
Fine. Mark on the line. Good morning, Mumbi.
Good morning, sir. How are you?
You said Mark?
Mark from Kawata.
Yes, Mark. Please go ahead. And you got a minute.
A minute you have given to me.
Yes.
Mumbi Phiri.
Mkwai.
Again, that them to the office. Mkwai Vilusan.
Mkwai.
Mumbi Phiri, Mwari Base, Mwari UPF. And Adena Zambia, Pagumisteri Jet, Mumbi Phiri. That was coincidence. Muno Zambia, Mumbi Phiri, PF under President Lungu. Mwajona urakinye chalo tamule pesa mukulanda, please. You should calm down. Zambians are not foolish. No matter how propaganda you can propaganda against President Hitler, it will never work out. And the man has brought democracy. Mumbi Phiri, I know you very well. In politics, you should learn to understand politics, something governance. You cannot be teaching Zambians today and say, HH has got problems. You borrow the money, you are building cosmetic roads, and from there, the country defaulted during COVID-19. And today we are painting President Hakainde Hichilema has got to run this country, including Iowa bailout. You failed UPF. You guys, Lubinga, Makatinda, Lungu. You are the culprit for the country. So don't tell us Zambians to say SH has got problems. In SH, he has got things. Today, Mumbi Phiri, you are speaking. As I speak to you, so many radio stations were closed during Mumbi Phiri's time. So we something we are listening to you, we should be turned down. And that's what we are using you to say, and then prepare table. You are lying.
Thank you. Thank you, Mark. Mark, your minute is up. Thank you, Mark. Your minute is up. Take another one. Maybe before you respond to Mark, let me take this one on 0955-221515. Good morning. Hello, good morning.
Morning, how are you?
Not too bad, thank you. Please tell us your name and where you're calling us from.
Local voice.
My name is Philemon from
Patriotic Zambia. Philemon, my brother,
Yes,
how are you?
Yes, Philemon.
Yeah, allow me to completely disagree with your guest.
But I'm greeting you first. Greetings first. How are you, Philemon, brother?
I'm fine. How are you?
How is Chitolika?
We are very fine.
Okay, now you can speak.
You've got a minute, Philemon. Please go ahead.
Thank you. Indeed, your guest has continuously flooding ubufi when propaganda on this beautiful platform. Valungu killed this nation economically, 2.8. My dear, for you to resuscitate, to recoup the economy, it takes years. You were told you can see how Mr. Lungu accumulated unexplained wealth. The family is thinking wealth this time. Hydro, Mr. Lungu, one turbine was stored under Mr. Lungu. This time, upon assuming office as New Dawn, we had to install more than 4 turbines. Have you seen? So, and not only that, they embarked on energy, which you did not invest then under Mr. Lungu. Had you invested in the energy sector, you wouldn't have been dragging there.
to say that never silwa, Kumamba is Uko, Chisamba, Kuluapula. All these are alternative programs. This contract which anyone want to look at it was started by you with Mr. Lung, which was signed in July 2021. By the power, nothing. So, come June this time, I think you have nothing to say. Load shedding is going to be reduced. And looking at the way we are anticipating unprecedented bumper harvest, I'm a farmer, they have grown maize. Go around the country, you can see maize. And you have nothing to say. A bag of meal will be affordable. Affordability means, cash for work. Affordability means employing more workers.
Your minute is up, unfortunately. Philemon, thank you very much for coming. We appreciate your comment. Let me take one last call before I ask you to respond. Let's take this one and then I allow you to respond. Good morning.
Good morning,
how are you today?
Fine,
your name and where are you calling us from?
We know quite a tanga babu kashan.
Fortune Savini, within Lusaka.
Fortune, please go ahead.
Disappointed by my abo. Instead of Mazambia. Because Zambians are the chance of which very some misuse capitalism and think to feel for marriage. The plantation is talking about who will about anything to. They don't have anything to say. That's why very far away from I want to go at Plan B. Plan B is very focused. They don't know. So I think for example, the they can see that they have the window. To a cottage kukula, and do she cut a pandama, cut a pandama, Pampenama Kashat. It's our opera chica with a window. That's why very window of Mumbi Phiri, who are Furunganya yo. Muki state which they show you, Mishava Konka Makata. And they are quiet, very question. Apama Katas were very, very cavalier of Miranda, Fiance. So, my younger one, opportunity, and there is someone I want to win. So that you must take on this. That's why you can determine.
I'm quiet. So in addition to his, I think what most people, I think even on Facebook I have, are saying, what is plan B? What is plan B on agriculture? What is plan B on electricity? What is plan B to the problems that you keep citing? What is the alternative?
Let me answer. Plan B is to me the person who is going to run against Hakainde Hichilema. And that plan B, it will come very soon, and Inde Mieva is not a match, or she's not a match to HH who akananokita declare masets yakwe. Let me talk to Vaskapizia. Kadarism. Tata, alamuime chemuye ku baulen. Abantu na balira mutule. You can hide something, but you can't continue hiding a lie. Mulanda tikadarism yalipwa. Your situation is worse. Bazaka, I'm challenging you. Lelo muime muye ku baulen. Umone what is happening. Just one spot. Mwaishe mchite observe muma stations. You see, if you won't see cadres, they are there. Barepo kempia kuma drivers, nga ichungulo ba kumana baya kana. So you are not cheating me because these things, Scapizia, people are seeing them. Plan B, yes. There are a lot of projects. I cited an example of the nuclear power plant, which is there. Kudani kaniku. Kuchongoko njikala, which instead of you should have finished that. In our plan B, who come and finish? We are the government now. PF is not there. The people who are part of this plan B were part of the plan who moved electricity when it was found at 1,900 kilowatts to 3,850 kilowatts. We know what we are talking about. Part of the people who are plan B are the people who were getting gold and started stocking it at back of Zambia to boost our dollar. The part of the people who are Plan B are the people who opened Zambia through the Leak Zambia, is it 800? And township roads. The people who are part of Plan B are the people who built the Kafue Lower. Turbines were there, they were just opened by ceremony. And you know, at not touching the money, go send their gold. Ba skapizia mwalikwata bali ama Egyptians abapitana ama motoka. Ask them ida gold ya chitire ya teningire muri chako. How did that plane find itself at the presidential pavilion? Why was that court case held under camera when they wanted to hold public ifiabuloshi? Does that make sense to you? Taturi batutu bonse, please. And Plan B, no matter how much you push, you will know it at the right time. My brother Philemon, debt, it's not only Zambia that defaulted to pay debt in the time of COVID. There are so many countries. And in IMF debt restructuring, you haven't concluded. And mind you, the people who are doing that restructuring are the same people your President Akainde condemned that company from France. Why? Yes, they're the ones who are still doing it. President Akainde Ishirema offered to say he can even do it for free with no charge. Why hasn't he done it? Mwaimi abantu mwabatwala ku airport baleshana ama intellectuals abana ba school bakudike mwabe patina mchitari structure debt. Up to today debt hasn't been restructured. But Philemon, the debt which was found, domestic debt, PF left it at 78 billion, and the figures don't lie. Is it PF which is in power today? This domestic debt, it's at 278 billion. How has it reached there? The external debt was at 7 billion. Lelo, is it 2-3 days ago we heard that it's at 14 billion? Who has moved it to 14 billion? And can you show him MPH mule Kongola what you're doing with it? Near the ama toilet to amwene ku kitwe? Because that's the only thing. Ama toilet yaratwa mona. You cannot talk about CDF because we have heard, like in Lusaka, it's at 0 implementation. Usitira kwa 100%, you know mwa ichemwa ikalirokso mba munia zulu. Ukokulu mezi. But even that CDF, it's not given in totality. Like CDF year 2024, up to December, it was only 8 million which was released. Are you telling me Barachita afford Ukubika? Idea Shereko about 20 something, Neia this year 36. Are they going to manage? UPND shouldn't be talking to people as if they're talking to stooges. We have a lot of intelligent people in Zambia. Even you, Philemon, you are not believing in what you are saying. Maize, yes, we have grown. Even me, I'm a big time farmer. Imwali yamwale samkutueba tishteni ama tractor. Ifwa ishtuwa shitakale. Ine na tampo kulima kuliba amayo kumufulira. Ishtuwa ikala kuka mchanga. Tuwaleri mina kuka nsuswa. Mwirai mwakwa tini mwaleto obulimi. Gamwaisa panganda pamwandi mwalasa ngefi pushi. Intoyo, everything is there. But don't even boast that farmers are going to sell maize for you. Ebo mwale pera fertilizer bare akana mutukopo. How are they going to give you 10 bags as Mutoropiri has said? A lot of people, yes, we are going to have food, but just one season. It's not going to be enough to everybody. Now to quarter adults, are you aware, Philemon Ukwebat, malnutrition is on the increase? Malnutrition which was eradicated na ibwela. Aba kulubale formula nduwa malnutrition. So don't boast. Don't argue with Mumbi Phiri. Ero if you mwachiralanda ati like Bamba Kibalanda, he has done a lot of things. Do you know that why you PND? Balafuna kulumbula. Balalanda, CDF, like last year, Bapera 8 million out of 36. Free education, 100. We have heard about that. Ama teachers, we heard like about council. Civil servant, Ingisha teacher. Afola, 6,000 or 7,000. Trump na fumiapo aid is suspended with a presidential order. Aid to Zambia is one of them. Abwaba anamwa Ingisha, with the prevalence of HIV and the AIDS is high with young people. That's where the prevalence is. If he Donald Trump wale kerokupere ndarama sha AIDS. Udiomu tibale sendamo, bale sendako nangu PrEP. Ngawa HIV antiretroviral drugs per month, the cost is 3,900. O mwa Ingisha ntito teacher nangu nasi, akachita fodu kulashito muti. Ero ngadi fiala no mwana waba dani kane positive because aba de to pera prevention. It was through the USAID. Sweden, which was giving us free education, ba adire ko kutumuti umulandu wabu ngo bukabwala ala mulechitana shield bakabwala ala abaiba. The president, I heard him when he was swearing in the anti-corruption commission that is not to gag anybody. Gaba minister baratwa umfwa ati mulabachita investigate by president. Why haven't you taken out the names if you are genuinely fighting corruption? And you can gag some people. Fortunately, you don't control the internet. People still talk. Are you going to gang Donald Trump the way he embarrassed ba posting pa Facebook yabo? I was sitting 15 meters away from Donald Trump. When you are being shamed by a president of a superpower. Alechita shame Zambia we are using money for useless things. Olo mule tuweba tike miteni, tuambo kunoma fertility pills, tuambo kuimita na fuweba aliko kufiara. Elo bake se chita stop aid. What are you going to do? Do you have a plan? The little money which will be gotten dubiously by this no baba alesha, tuadikuata ama mines mule yunfu ama mines we have, ama mines. What do we get from the mines? Because they're taking our minerals for free. Ama emeralds now send them for free. It's getting hotter and hotter. When you are calling a person like me, give me examples of when you are saying he has done so much. Me, I haven't seen anything that he has brought out of the 111 trips outside Zambia which he has done so far. Where are the electric vehicles? Is there any factory which is producing batteries? Shame.
Let me take some more calls on 0955-221515. We lost it, but call us back. Let's try this one. Good morning. Hello, good morning. Good morning. Morning. Your name, sir, and where are you calling us from?
You are speaking to Kapambo, the spokesperson for Wapula Arrival.
Kapambo, where are you calling us from?
I'm calling from here in Matero, sir.
Please go ahead. You've got a minute.
Pemba people Wapula Kasama Copper Belt. Wali Palualishu Kogusta produce every duty. Igimani. Mumbi Phiri,
Tata ndifye wino amalumbu ayo napokere tata mlepala. Thank you.
Ishuko kufialirwa Mumbi Phiri. Politician usichitwa umuntu. Number one politician in this country, Zambia. Where shuko we? Government inga ya isapoeli yonse ikafile akula building. Ya kutila bana wale kialwa. Dikeseba lisambiro kutetualina Mumbi Phiri. Nikesu wafwa mayo.
Na totera tata.
Mkwai, tuli wonse. Alama yoko na ula mwao na wile. Ula pelo ungo flashi ya bantu. Pali 120. lero kulunjika balunjike kula shisho bunga bena 400 na tiste kwacha mayoko na ula mwaona wile kula shisha kilo pa 17 kwacha bena balunjike nibeti po kwacha mayoko na ula mwaona wile kula nisebo ichalo chuame kuja kwa likona ula mayoko na ula mwaona wile kula shtamala shaba pina padi siri kwacha lelo imbabula ngole kwa kambabula kamoka kwane ni 50 kwacha basi kwacha tepo amalashia bagilero ni 1200 ekyo mwaona wile mwalelilira abapino okutila batinyililwe lero yakebozimwe baile mukukutila ku ceremony mayo okutila ibafu nebo madamu wandi mutonga nali kuchoma ekyo mwayasanga okutila President mina papoja mukulala sio bale nyuma sana ilo mwana twale mbushi twale mbushi abantu nabandi musayati takwale wana problem hili yonse lero kabya ni mwinta city ama kademo bali watpara nganjira mo kanwa pera 10 kwacha kumakaja ngate ivyo twasenda bale mukubishia demo bali amakada lero ama criminal so bali ama criminal bali mu PF aba batumire ni bali UPN njukwiza mu PF kaona ula eba ya bantu mwamona bama criminal ababale bakonkoko na ulale chalo tachiwe memayo
bakapambwe twatotela mkwaye. Thank you Natasha, thank you very much. Your minute is up. Let me just turn to Facebook briefly. Let me take Stanley Kunda on Facebook says, good morning, my sister. Plan B is the way to go. Look at this electricity, hunger, poverty, and expensive food and fuel. Zambians, we want affordable prices of food. Affordable prices of food and fuel. UPND has taken us 40 years back. The priest said hunger and anger in Zambia today. Anyway, God knows. I'm from Kombo Mtendere. Thank you very much. Shaka Zulu on Facebook says, from middle income country to number 6 poorest country. A shame to find ourselves in this situation. I guess after 4 years, it's still not 14 hours like him promised $100. Quickly, Kamwanza Banda says, the opposition, you do speak. The problem is that you don't move to see the way some people are suffering. For example, the marketeers at Comesa, whose shops were demolished on the road reserve and gave to a white man to build permanent shop at the expense of the poor. God does not sleep. We'll come back and look for some more Facebook comments, but let me quickly give you one more call and then you can respond. Good morning. Not too bad. How are you today?
I'm very fine. Thank you so
Brother Chisha.
Exactly, you're speaking to Brother Chisha.
Please go ahead. You've got a minute, sir.
Thank you so much, ma'am. How are you today?
I'm fine, Brother Chisha. Ngavalisha ntata mkwai.
Don't be worried by people who are trying to bring you down. It's not you are speaking, it's nothing for suffering. You are just representing us. We are suffering like normal business, and even them who are speaking out, but they are also suffering.
Brother Chisha, your line is a bit cracky. I know it's the network. If you can just position yourself properly.
What about now?
Much better. Please go ahead.
Yeah, this network, everything under this government is bad.
Yes, everything.
I don't know.
Please go ahead.
So what I was trying to say is that people who are suffering as Zambians, they can speak out their mind. They're also suffering, but I want to believe they don't have where they are getting achievement. You cannot have a situation, Jack and listeners out today, and president telling people to say anything, where on earth? You cannot have a situation of the president going and using something insulting Not what we group. So what? Is that what we need in Zambia? What we need is development. Ma'am, I'm just here to encourage you to say, please, keep on speaking for poor Zambians. Because you can't manage. Honestly, that's not clear stuff in this country. And these people are saying, no, it's PF will destroy things. Why is it that Zambians are paying everywhere? And they are coming for PF whom they are saying, no, they destroy things. I'm telling you the truth, ma'am, the suffering which Zambians are passing through today, we can't even explain it. So, all what I can just simply say, put your heads together. We are going to make sure that people of Zambia are deliberated. This time around, we are in a very, very awkward situation. Before I go, I have a question for you, ma'am.
Yes, sir.
These people, they are demanding for Plan B. They want to know the Plan B. Is Plan B for everyone or Plan B just for Fokopia? Why is it that they are panicking much about Plan B? Where is the problem? According to you, where is the problem? Because I want to believe Plan B is not for people in government. And even if for people come up with this, they never said this for those who are in power.
For public
Why
consumption.
Is it that they are selling to sleep? Why is it that they are selling to sleep over Plan B? What is the problem? Where is the problem? Why is the tariff?
Thank you. Thank you, Brother
Thank you.
Chisha.
Brother Chisha, Plan B na ibateke mfine. Because why we are even in this problem, tabakwata alternative. Huh? That's why tabakwata if you mwale umfwa deto twakweta malite pantu tabakwata alternative. Infula tairokere bala batibale babantu ati ku Dubai hakuna pula 10 years hakuna pula. Bambo kula bepano babare bepesha. You know, blaming God. That's the level. Plan B will unveil it at the right time. You know very well, Tata. No mapantu na iba fulunganya. Na beshiba titapadi ofo benga chita mansi ya shala konomba ni 9 months. Nishi benga chita i 4 years. Ba ikere bare pepeka ba PF. It truly, everything is bad. We say ku internet. We say ku menshi. Everything. And Tata, let me assure you that nobody can bring me down. It's big. People are even getting surprised. You know that when I was in Kawambo, I came back in Shinimbika for 4 kg. When you look at my skin, kwate muma seo nadi, ide moneka kwate unare samba miuku, but naikere 18 days no samba. So nobody can bring me down. It's only God who can bring me down, not a human being. No matter what. My faith is too strong. Ba kamwiji mwachai batatuya uko bachita demolish ama bakomesa. We don't make noise. People like me have been there. Ngamulo mfokuma radio stations oko badetere program pa talk after 6. I even contributed. People are annoyed. Ukula fumia abantu opo bachitila trade. I can give you an example. And I'm talking about this because where I live in Chongwe, Padiba an area, Payunilas, Asado, Badi Tobama shop, Tuma market, Tuma makeshift market. That's where people are earning a living. And I'm telling everybody that let us be on the lookout because we have information that it's the big people who want to get that land. So we are on the lookout, and all of you people from Chongwe, ababantu nangu muntu uwa imini na kwa bantu tabafuaya because they're too selfish. Bafuaya fionse basenda fili kuli bena barabe neba ledia. How can you explain mwalikuwa taba chairman yaba UPND in some of these constituencies walungisha amaspoko ya njinga? How possible is that? Me, I was an MP ni Munadi. When I got my mid-term gratuity, Henry Kapata can attest to that. Because I realized that a lot of children were abusing alcohol and drugs. That time in 2008, I took 50 million and gave it to the council so that we can curb that. Can those MPs you have do that? That's why Mwadikwatama constituency chairman never lungisha spoke. Aba shitishe sakuro na FP yangu. Ura infano kuinfuata I'm a UPND chairman when you are promoting selfish people. So Tulaya Bakamiji, don't worry. We are still working with the people on the ground. But Shaka, you are right. How can a country explain mwafuma from a fast-growing economy to a middle income? Ukwisa, we're number 6 poorest. And yet we have one of the richest president in Zambia. How does that correspond? And Ubuntu Alesa Mkwasuka Minister of Finance, they were responding to the report yaba PF. But umwana kwati tatutontonkanya katushinga bamwana kwati bonsa mambianzi nga kwadi bobo bashinda ula bonse bali tushinda ula. It can't work like that. Plan B, truly, it's the way to go. Nga mwamona abantu bafika ku extend yakula tukama priests. Inshimuishi bati. That's the end of them. Because iresanga alefwayo kwebati alafulunganya ero wafumamu. You don't even know what you're saying. Tata bakapambwe. Chako ngamwaya kuchunga. A bag is selling at 1,500. Kumutendele, it's at 1,300. Ngamwaisa ifo kula kuchongo tuikalaka ilikula pitana ba majinga. Kalaka baga kanono kadi padi 280. And now I've got other figures in other areas. Speaker batarike. When that MP was it being on Pundu said Amala Shari padi 700. Batarika ba speaker because menabala diabuino. Na Amala tabashita. Mwadisha tukwadi banama areas since we have been having this road shading okama light tayaya. They don't feel the impact. Muka eku ministers compound muka be pushe ama garden boy kinda bena they feel the impact baka mieba. That's why you can see ba Madam Speaker batadi kati as bagi amalashani 700. I think ba Madam Speaker nangumwabeba even gas ama bonfi ama gas stove it has gone up. Bakatadika because it doesn't affect them. And by UPND, the sad part, ababa landa pama kadas tatawaka pambwe abadiku city market. They are burying their heads in the sand. Me, I'm on record. I'm one of those people who could come out. I could go there with journalists. We were in power, but I never believe in burying my head in the sand, pretending. Let them continue pretending. They'll come and face the people of Zambia. And soon, it's very, very soon. 9 months from now.
Sylvester on Facebook says, Madam Mumbi Phiri, you and PF are history, just like UPN, just like UNIP, MMD. So forget it. Then Njekwa Smakando says, please ask the lady to check her facts. There is no load shedding in South Africa. I live here. It was only on one weekend when the electricity system tripped. Okay.
What's his name?
Njekwa.
Oh.
Smakando. Then let me see if I can get you some more messages on Facebook. No, but let me quickly take phone calls on 0955 221515. Good morning. Good morning. Oh, we lost you. Please call us back on the same number, 0955 221515. Let's try another one. Good morning. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Morning, thank you. Your name, sir, and where are you calling us from?
Mulenga calling you in Lusaka.
Mulenga from Lusaka.
Yes, Madam Mumbi Phiri mulishani.
Bwino mkwaita tawa Mulenga mulishani.
Mkwai mkwai.
Mkwai.
Mkwai kwena ndefo ke ukusta contribute ka pale mulelanda.
Mkwai tata.
Mkwai the UPND the PF mwaliona ile chalo. Bushe muko na chalo ba PF mwashiri obunga pali 120 kwacha. Lelo bunga buli muri 350. Vumbi ubunga buli bwa kutantamina. So na ile chalo pali aba babiri nani. Rechi 120 no rechi 350 kwacha. Mayoba Mumbi Phiri nga mwaisa mukomboni abantu ofo bale chula. Kuti mwapapa abantu bale amukwikala pamaliro ukuti bali ekofi obwali akwade kofi kyakulya pamala mushe kuti mwakivusuma nani wona wede kyalo umuntu ngali akope lunch kupekana kwenda nakusuka pakulya lunch alamala Mumbi Phiri twafuni kwa Mazambians natuchula and today ni support okuti ngulele mu power mu 2026 oto ningamea kukusanya dove ama issues ali mu PF na bachavinga so that party ibe intact whatever la UPND vale fana mutabale kwa 2026 vale opona pera.
Thank you very much, Moses, for that one. I've got Yusuf Tembo on Facebook, who says, good morning. Is Mumbi Phiri able to explain where they will get the money to improve the Zambian lives? How do they plan to reduce fuel prices when Zambia does not reduce fuel? And then there is DJ Easy, Zambian, who says, the president says he makes trips to improve the lives, but we don't see it. Elo, he won't even address it, but only wears gloves, white gloves, to move one old man from his position to the other position. Zambians, let's just wait for Jesus.
Anyway, let me respond. Let me start abobachira landa fefile chitika. Yes, and by youth, me I'm happy. Badi mi fulula because badi mi bepera to have youths in decision makings. How many of youths do we have in decision making? Me, I was a member of parliament when I was a youth. I wasn't above 35. I was 32 going to 33. So muntu ngami bepo muntu di 36, 37. The youth, they promised you. Bare chinja fi abakote. Afuma ku retirement alini jaji aforenda rama bampera na chimbi. Bare fikirishe for Bible yaranda. At more when you have, more will be added to you. For UPND barechita. Imwa youth tabami penda from one old man to another. Second, by Yusuf Valanda, how are we going to improve the people's lives? If we had continued by Yusuf, you can see that we started improving people's lives. That's why under PF, when you talk about fuel, are you aware that we constructed ama depots, provincial depots, okotwari ingiro kula sungira fuel for 3 months. Atuwapo a situation near shortage of fuel, ngatakwaba. Go to Ndola, ngamlefu mafia kunokulusaka. Mwapita kundola parapaba trade fair. Those tanks are there. Kasama, they are there. Chipata, they are there. They have become white elephant because this government has no plan. And because baadi pata sana, Edgar Lungu, some of the infrastructure, like Nacharandapo solar plant here, free badi, they have failed to make, not solar plant, they have failed to make a follow-up nuclear plant. I am a deposit fuel, but if make. If we had the plan that to after 3 months, at least ishumaba kushoned, benabareshta every month. As if that's not enough. We were told, we were told through parliament that they have overpaid him. Are they telling us how they are going to get that money? It's only when there's change of government. That's when that money will go back to the people of Zambia so that we can buy medication. How we started improving the people of Zambia. We got the mines. Are you aware? You in a miringo bachitade monaiz wampo kempia. The job we was doing, Kuriaku mine. It's the same job our president was doing when they were doing privatization. And he made the profit. They can't tell you these facts. Abantu abadi copper belt, I wish somebody can call in. Me, I was born on the copper belt in Mufrira in particular. Nothing is happening. Can you imagine balefwa na abachitana council license so pele abantu bakumufurira to start operating the Black Mountain. Ide yakudia. And very soon mukamona filasi ya wano ala ndiri balumbula ati Black Mountain yali ingirana mukafumo no mbaka tuishu tufumonga tatu akapoke. Because of their selfishness, we started improving the lives of the people, and we are just going to continue from where we left. And it's true. By Yusufu, I hope if yakulya, are you aware that if Ibarelanda, who started banani kane, who started bringing up these meeting plant bale yufira mwati this meeting UPN hasn't constructed a single one. That was PF plan. These are tuba pongayadi kumana in all the 10 provinces. And we encourage the military personnel to start growing. If you are a mibepa no, but yeah, bazafu na bamba farming kuchisamba. That farming started in the time of PF. Kuna kuchisamba bari kwetene ngombe. Tuwaumfuatile ngombe shari ruba. Kuse range bari tampire no kuchita grow. Nani kane imono, amafuta ya mono. Mupepetwa, they started doing fishing. It's just that we were not talking about them, but they started a long time ago. So we already started using our defense force in agriculture. So, that's why we're eating a plan B. I'm after plan B, and then Bamulenga. Yes, but what we destroyed the country because to arrest Shobunga, Padi 120. Yes, but what we destroyed the country because the cancer hospital was working to from outside the country, like that Malawan musician who I treatment kuno. Yes, they say we destroyed the country because we constructed the heart hospital, which is a state of the art. Yes, we destroyed the country because Abdurai Aziz, that college we wanted to construct, the infrastructure is still there. But if you that was a university for our defense forces. Them, they are good, they can get money as we heard from Cornelius Muitwa, Nabatabo Kawano, Batwala Central African Republic, Atibare Kule Chipatara, Ichipatare Chonombana Umfat Takwaba. Yes, we were bad because we built Maina Soko. Gabalo Alabamo, Batamfia Monabadimo, Baba Tualamu. That's how bad we are. And now people are able to see who was bad. Who arrest Shobunga Padi 120? No, Amibe Pela Takabuleta Padi 50 kwachi. The choice is yours.
This is the Thursday edition of the Burning Issue. I've got a question from Chilufia in Leicester, in the United Kingdom, who says, always a pleasure listening to you, my sister. He's actually following us on YouTube. It's amazing how we Zambians are. Those praise singers who are calling in because they have been given 50 kwacha for talk time should be ashamed of themselves. Is it just me feeling the pain of this clueless government? Today, the dollar is hitting 30 kwacha, yet nothing is being done. Which Zambia do these people live in? Pantu ine, my relatives are saying, ifintu nafidula. We've been saying the measures government has put in place are pathetic. You will see next week the kwacha will appreciate because people have complained. Anyway, one Michael Chirufiasata said under 5. He was right. God help us, Chilufia from Leicester.
Okay, no, I haven't answered two people. The other one who called from South Africa.
Yes.
I said I was in South Africa. I went on holiday, and one of the countries I visited was South Africa. I was there for 2 days. So I might have been there. Your 2 days now, your weekend, the road shading. Mweba di ku South Africa. Araifata tuikala fye muno. Tatoa banga baneva saba na bena twariva twala maskulu badi sambirira. Songa tuanaka tureso ko kwine omuko muri. I have children there. I have children in other countries. I'm a mother of 7. So I didn't lie. You've confirmed there was a weekend when there was no electricity. Ba Vincent kachinga ni banani ababa chitanda tamu history. Kuti mwabika inene mwa icha tamu history. Ba mirupi ndingene nabo babashira mu history. Banango ndingene nabo babashira mu history. Ba masabota baraya mu history ne mwa ichenje mu history. Mubeperefi muchiri na ine.
Now, you have lined up questions about you've listed things that you have done contrary to how you're being labeled as a bad regime. Now, addition to that is the biggest issue that people are bringing out here is that during your time in government, you failed to control cadarism, right? And this is the main reason why the Patriotic Front lost. It's because there was too many unruly cadres who took power to themselves. I personally, I'll tell you that during elections and during results, I had a very senior cop. I have a very senior cop friend who was in mission abroad and was following the results using me in terms of finding out how we are doing. The complaint that this cop had was, please, we pray that the PF lose because the cadres became so powerful that some of us, we were nothing in their eyes. And this is the issue that comes back to the senses of the Zambians when they hear you people wants to get back into power.
You know, I'm a person whom, Zach, when we were in power, you interviewed me.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And you heard how I hated these cadres. You know that?
Yes.
And
you predicted that you were going to lose.
Yes. So you're talking to a person who doesn't believe in burying the head in the sand. Even those, some people within ourselves, they were saying I talk too much when I was condemning the cadres. You yourself, you remember that I called on the radio station, I think it's this one, or Hot FM, when I said there were ministers whom they were claiming, they were, I don't know what they were doing. One of them was Bowman Lusambo. And I called on the police. Police, arrest this minister if what he's doing is wrong. So you're talking to a person who acknowledged and who was talking about it. The good part is, even those who didn't believe, now they're behaving like the way the UPND is behaving. They have accepted that the cadres were the contributor to our losing of the elections. At the level of the president, he has apologized to the people of Zambia. Haven't you heard that apology? And how is the cadre going to come back? Where are those cadres now? How are they surviving? Do you think anybody can agree that they should start doing what they are doing now by UPND? I can assure you they will not be cadres.
Suddenly they come out. I will tell you, when ECL took a walk in the CBD, we saw them.
You saw them. What were they doing?
And
were they beating people?
And well, not really.
No, don't mistake. Those are just people. You cannot score people as cadres.
Your cadres at your time had a description that no one can miss. They were bodybuilders, for example. All right, because that was their identity, and you can see them sometimes. We see them sometimes, especially around the ECL, and especially and particularly when he took a walk in CBD.
No, I wasn't with him in the CBD, but from the video I saw, I think that's a very unfair judgment. And I'm wondering why you're talking about ECL, whom the Concord has said is not eligible. I think we should.
Well, he's the architect of Plan B.
No.
Obviously, being an architect of Plan B,
just leave him alone. He himself, don't force what you're thinking on him. You are educated, and the people have heard. The man said, I accept the outcome of Concord. What does that mean? Moeban, to leave the man alone. And that's why I'm saying, wherever he is, I think he should stay there for the time being. He relaxes. Tushale. Forever ishibako Plan B for idi. Today bomba. Leave him. Please, I beg you, just leave him. Deal with us. And me, I'm one of those people who started talking about Plan B before anybody else. And I know what it is. And will not tell you. It will come out when the time is ripe.
How different will you be able to manage cadres?
Already we are different. Just leave it to us.
No, people need to have that confidence.
No, I mean, plus
we can't leave it to you.
I cannot listen. You cannot put me on the spotlight. You don't know what.
Are you going to run the government different? Are you going to manage your cadres different?
Very, very different. Talk to the people who are denying that there are no cadres. You have heard from the callers. I've given you a challenge of where to go. Those who are denying, no, we are living in peace. Do you know that is? I just don't know where my brother Tabo Kawana, my cousin, my new cousin is. Do you remember that he started going in the studios, those who condemned, to say, you can speak freely? He was storming the studios, and I think this is one of the studios he stormed with no invitation.
No, he didn't.
It's not here.
No.
Or it was then Hot FM. It did on 2 or 3 occasions. But we are going to be different. And the goodness with us, we don't refuse where we went wrong. And like these who believe in lies, they lie too much.
Let me pick at least the last 3 calls. Okay. Yes, the last 3 calls. Good morning. Hello, good morning.
Morning, Yazaki.
Morning, thank you. Your name and where are you calling us from?
I'm General Chongo calling from Kai.
General Chembo.
Chongo.
General Chongo.
General Chongo. Thank you very much.
Tata na shibuka fe bwino ba general katwishikuka bwenga mwaikala shani na ba traffic police abakonka n'omusalu. Mkwai.
Because in Zambia, on a part of Africa, having the country can go forward. Each of them is cooperation. And I'm pushing to the my Ukraine the church in a very which high cost of living in propaganda area to take Chimbinichi, which the shading that to adequate solutions to bad solutions. Gari Congo Nishi Valley Caritondo Chama solutions. Last river Mayo, Bushe, who I should have 120. We are left to for 450.
Thank you, General Tatasha Mkwai. The question of when you intend to retire keeps coming up. I'll read it anyway. Farai on Facebook says, Madam Mumbi, kindly share when you intend to retire from active politics, given that you have been there for a long and probably contributed both positively and negatively to this nation. But considering the period and dynamics of doing politics, that has changed. Don't you feel resting would serve you well enough?
I will retire when Akainde retires, because Akainde is older than me. What do you mean by retire? Are you saying I'm old?
Older in politics?
No, I mean, Akainde, I found him in politics. Bamobana Lumango, I found her in politics. In fact, at one time when I was elected as a youth, she was my deputy speaker of the National Assembly. Are you being fair to be calling me to retire, or you're so scared of me that I might be the solution to remove you to power? Mukte, Uchilina ine. As long as Vanalumango, but Sylvia Masebo, when she was standing as a councillor, I was still in primary school when she became deputy mayor for Lusaka. Why hasn't she retired? On what basis are you calling me to retire on? But Felix Mutati nabasangama politics. Ba mirupi watata twairire pamo ku parliament, although he was older. Twairire pamo when he was elected the first time in 2006. Why hasn't he retired? Imenda, we went together in 2006. Why hasn't he retired? Gertrude Imenda came after me. Why haven't they retired? By age, some of them are very much older than me. Why haven't they retired? To me, when you're calling on me to retire, you're just encouraging me to stay on, because in Shinamona, truly I'm a big machine. Tataba Chongo, that high cost of living. Cost of living now, it's true, is very high. For nachirala ndira kukabwoko ngana isa kwa baba traffic police we kalaparapa nyanji. Abe keta na moto ke ile etero musalu market. you know what I'm talking about. Umuntu kuti atashapo washiro bunga pa 120 than washire pa 3 udeshitisha pa 350. Umuntu kuti aibukishowa akwete cancer hospital iyali functional than abepe cancer hospital bamunine fo balefwa ngama flies. Umuntu kuti atashapo umuntu uwalela ndechinka we are going to improve on not kwatama power cuts, but achita construct kafiwe God, achita construct ama solar panels yareo baide isura ba HH kukitwe. There's some more solar panels aya bakuno mupepina kula kuinebeka la ba HH. Uachitile improve electricity grid from 1,900 to 3,800 kilowatts. Uachitile upgrade Musonda Falls. Uachitile upgrade Pensulo. Uachitile telehydro power station where I come from, Kushiwangandu. Achita increase ama districts, because when you increase ama districts, it means muletwala development kuli ya ama areas. Umuntu kutasala po uyo muntu. Chachi neba jeno chongo baadi miraire ukweba tubunga bukabwera pa 50 kwacha baadi miraire tekwa kabe load shedding because bali kwetama solution and bale tuwebati we have no vision nomba beneba munekere katuishinge vision bali leka no kulanda muchiroza takuna pula kwa Dubai ichi mono achadi ruba ara nipano turi.
I'll take my last two calls. Well, we lost that one, but please call us back. I'm taking the last two calls. Let's take this one. Good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Morning, thank you. Your name and where are you calling us from?
This is Jacob calling you within Lusaka.
Jacob calling you from within Lusaka. Please go ahead, Jacob.
Yes, Madam Mumbi Phiri, good morning.
Good morning, Jacob.
Yes, Madam. Me, I'm very, very surprised. Because this is the time I'm hearing people are saying they are doing very well in this country. From 1991, when we got our democracy, I never thought that one day we will have a president that will make people going and queuing for millions. I never thought. I never thought of that. I never thought that one day we shall become like a review. You know, no electricity, people are working at night. And then people are praising. Yes. I think talk about that, Madam Phiri. Yeah, I'm not.
Do you believe I should retire, Jacob? Do you believe I should retire from politics, Jacob?
No, how can you retire, Madam Mumbi Phiri, when Mr. Musogotwane is being in the state government? And it's still there, and he's right. We voted him with the president. The country in whom is failing every corner.
Thank you.
I think. Help me thinking.
Okay.
Thank you very much, Jacob, for that. Let me take one last call, and I'll take a message from Facebook as well. Good morning. Hello.
Good morning.
Morning to you. Thank you. Your name and where are you calling us from?
Jeff calling from Cabo.
Your name again?
Jeff.
Jeff calling from Cabo.
Jeff, yes, please.
Quite tata.
Mayonga kawa akaba panga dama kama na bene kiraka pikinyo muchira ngakira pikinyo kukwati oshibuliyene mayoni nshimbi ngani kumfuti ida betatu munshinga nangu bizao eto batiranga bawumva oshibuliyobe baratutuma na plan B nei yali bafurunga lyamana and why are they concerned for plan B kwati yabo plan B yacho kweba lechula kweba lechulo kushitobunga pali 400 kwacha plan B yayi kweba parking okutwa miyotoka kama bantu bakuzwa kushita amavuta pali 35 kwacha plan B yaba kokya kunze ya mukoda umurando dola yali kwela plan B yaba abantu babe patwa mupera CDF inshimuneke into irejita plan B yaba abantu so ibo kwebene twewe chipo mutwesu nasu isho plan B mayo tuwalile mayo mutwale murebe wana balungu bati eko yabantu bali kunuma ya plan B bamulandu wako bati informu fi panakana bomwanini kanji kumopenda kwa muntu aini ati nabombi ambo okubepwa ufi nenti mayali sima kama mwisi mtutwale kwa pantisho batwele tete ashikana kali yo ukutwele bati kwa 6.1 million per constituency now come background more in the 6.1 for things we are even 0.5 million 25 point something ya babandire sasa nangu chimwecho benga kontati ekwa ya ama CDF uko it's very unfortunate mwandini bakateka bashingurukwa n'abantu abakwe bati bale yate bale bonka mbona bati bale pata kontati ifintu filibu no emisha abantu bale including na wana yo we have done this and this and this plan B abale ikara mu mbizi na nimuntu ikembisi kumushina ko bantu plan B ayiko accommodation fee kuba kumushi plan B yakwa uyonge kushama Zachariah Banda ne ba plan B mwe bantu bakwalesa.
Thank you.
Someone is going next day. I can see somebody flashing his jacket.
Unfortunately, we are our last caller. So thank you very much for that. Let me give you a message. I think I've got about two interesting ones. I think these are also responding the question that I had actually posed on you. But anyway, Ashley Moss. So Ashley says, good morning, Honorable. Please remind the nation that violent Kadarism was mostly perpetrated by the UPND and their watermelon tactics. And that now it has moved into offices. Vazak, don't forget that even if Chitambala has cried on 2 occasions so far because of UPND cadres. Chitambala meaning...
Yeah, but Simon.
Yeah. So here is Felicitas Chisala. Felicitas Chisala says, Mumbi, please remind them that UPND were so violent when they were actually in opposition. Stanley Chongwe, the last one I can give you. How can a genuine Zambian citizen think of Madam Mumbi Phiri to retire from active politics while Stumbe Komsokotwane are still holding on to positions which are supposed to be given to young leaders? UPND guys
and
are
one
not
of
genuine.
Those young leaders they should give Musokotwana Fuira Shida in a Mirupi. Nana Lumango, Kaidi Bakulupadin.
Then Yosef Tembo, last one, says PF fuel, PF found fuel at 7 kwacha per liter during MMD. Why did they leave it at 17 kwacha per liter? In this case, the Patriotic Front.
Okay, let me answer. Kuria Baba Chiralanda. Oh yes. Bajibukisha padi watermelon. Watermelon, nomba, ebena tetuwa control because they were using their cadres. And truly, UPND, why taturekwata sana urubudi? Ngana mumonaba, they are fighting, abe nebe kabe kabalerwa. Bale ichaye mingalato. Let me take an example of the scandal which is on everyone social media. Iyaba Minister of Energy, now that beautiful sister of mine, bamu bomfya ku company bale bomfya company ukukula ama CDF babi mona abana. What's so different fila tule mona pa internet pantule mukashana tarefisa alerumbula nabana baba makozo chikoti. What's different from what ba makozo is doing nefo bakakira GBM people say nepe? And if genuinely the president was fighting corruption, isn't that a good case which has been exposed? Udiana mayo ababrevunga ine tarefisa alebeba no kubeba tine abo bene mwachita, not me. You not manage me. The police which protects you and your father at your house has a right to protect me. But President Ngabala fighting a corruption. Why is Makozo Chikoti still in that office? But Chitambala, my dear, this is my cousin. Ngalela ndane tsungu na ina rinje bapo. Amombe, you know. Ariranda we know kenesa tetinji befoni. But I shiranda to retire. Ngani shtebe reba tataba nevas mumba. Pantu ba shibesu for him and him. Ukweba tibachite retire. Bare eba inene mo aichatinchi te retire. There should be something very big in me. ero plan B tata bakuba ndala mitatu ba plan B mwena operational ya bu plan B batata kukaboko na mwishi wafonjishire ku studio from chongwe ine nini ne minibus vandoresha vazaki mwala nshindikana kunshindika ndiamkunira minibus because emwavedi yashi inena akwata V8 kufuma kuchongo kuisa kuno ku studio kamongani nkwatako nanka 500 nomba inena alikwata beshi kulwa bana bonse balikula naingirira mumbike mo fuel 500 nje ku town kusuka washitira mu abana bread kali bread naifika 30 kwacha efyo tulenda na ine nini ne mubasi ero inabengi kuti basuminedi nginda nina mubasi because of cost of living is high nomba ine ne ukwete n'abana ababomba outside bafola mu madola balantumira kuno kuntumina nga 9 inch tahiti what more bamaye kuka muchanga my mother because she's still alive how is she surviving ngabampera kwa abana na ine n'abapako twafyalwa 10 my brothers na my sisters na bena nga bale chita complain nga bali abashakwata abana abashala beka bale na ma orphans epo tufikire fyo abantu balera ndati abantu baleri apachiriro okonjikala ine kuchongwe twalirekere chita ya PF kula chita donate ubunga patubare kutwala kufiriro twale masaka. Even my former parish Karingaringa Francis Xavier basentiana kuti basumina twalirekero kulasonkesha obunga twaleshita masaka na tuwekero kulasonkesha obunga patubale. Just 3 days ago we were burying a young girl uwafuire kula kumwesu ukula pitamo balesonkesha obunga pakabale ero ewe na wikala olepunda filife bwino abantu balelala mumenshi imfula te first time twakwata po imfula yaso twale kwatama floods but this year it's too much twali kwetena president wafumine na amajombo taire mkutangala pamenshi vile atwa mwene lungu twa mumwene alina shovel ale chitan block ama nekana ma blockages bana lumango mu 2022 badire kusema ero kabwata bae babantu ati babakaba chita relocate. Why haven't they relocated them this time? Olo baba laba chita relocate ala mukose ba UPND mwe barenje bokuchita retire mukose ero no mbadi ya mwanto ala mujiere na yaikala waniye na alipola na diabetes tapali nopo ningamo nikerati na alafu alero nikaliko diabetes ya alipole ya rechita threaten my life so mukose. Thank you Azaki mwaseka sana.
Your concluding remarks.
My concluding remarks bamuninane plan B is there. Don't be discouraged. I will encourage you to go and get ama NRCs. The NRC is your weapon to ending anger. And as we go to vote, kaina tuishiwa plan. Fidiabo mabantu tukose. Let us be determined and let us start telling each other as we go and vote in 2026. Tuikafuma pama polling stations. Kaine sala na iberera. Muleikala mwe bantu 2-3 days ukwabula okudya bushenga mwekala pa polling station to protect your vote ikamipa epo tayamaya. So let us be ready to protect the vote so that we check out this cruel government. Thank you.
Thank you very much for coming. I know my call reached you this morning at short notice, but you had to adjust your programming to definitely fulfill this one. We are humbled.
Thank you so much. Call me anytime. Me, I even get on a bus, as you have said, and you're going to prove that because Kaidi Mole Shindika station.
Indeed, and well, to our listeners, thank you very much for having participated and having followed our conversation. And also, more importantly, our partner radio stations for having carried this program live on their various platforms. We are very grateful. We will definitely be back next week, God willing, for both the Tuesday and Thursday editions of The Burning Issue. From us all is take care of yourselves and more so of each other. Bye-bye.
Tune in next